Hello everyone, this is DragonCon here with our first ever Q&A session with a track director. In this case, today we are going to be talking about the Kaleidoscope track. And we have Jill with us here. Hello Jill.
Hi.
So Jill, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and how long you've been with the con and everything?
Well, I've been an Eternal member. This is my 19th year as an Eternal member. It's my 4th year as a track director. And we've been coming forever, it seems like.
Wow, 19 years. I've only got about 8 under my belt.
Well, there's plenty more with, there's plenty more with 25 years and plus people. We just haven't made it that far yet.
Right. So the Kaleidoscope track, can you tell us a little bit about it?
It was started 4 years ago to give a place for programming for kids that were 9 to 13 years old. Kids that have been coming to the convention since they were little babies with their parents, and there was nothing there for them, so they decided that they would just start a track and we would see how it went. And it's been pretty popular. It's it's still trying to find its feet a little bit, but we have a good crowd every year.
That's awesome. I don't have any children of my own, but my wife is pregnant, so hopefully one day I'll get to bring my little one to the Kaleidoscope track.
Yeah. It coincided with the fact that they canceled the daycare that they started the Kaleidoscope track, so we were kind of worried that we would get a bunch of little kids, but we haven't had too many really young kids. It's all been, the right age of kids.
All right, well, so what ages are there for the Kaleidoscope track?
Well, we target 9 to 13-year-olds, but we get them as young as 5 years old. They come with their parents or their brother or their sister. Sometimes even grandma brings them. So we have a lot of grandmas that bring their kids, which, grandparents, which is unique in a way. You would think that it would be mom and dad, but...
Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have, what are some frequently asked questions that parents ask you when they maybe, bring their kids to Kaleidoscope tracks or something?
Probably the most frequently asked question is why they just can't leave their kid there, like come to the track, drop their kid off. And that's really for legal reasons.
Right.
We're not a daycare. None of us are certified daycare people. So in the law in Georgia states that if they're 16 or under 16, they have to be accompanied by a parent. So that's probably the biggest question. And the other question would be, why is it there? Which would be the same reason that you asked me why. It was because there was a need. There was a group of parents that petitioned DragonCon, and they reviewed it for 3 or 4 years, and then they finally decided that should give it a shot.
Okay, and so the parents come with their kids, and they can't leave their kids, so the parents are with their kids, but there's absolutely stuff for both the kids and the parents to do together.
Oh, yeah. We found, and it was mostly by accident, because our first year we targeted all our programming to kids, and we found out there was a lot of adults that like the kind of shows that we target or the kind of subjects that we talk about. So, it was interesting in the fact that we're still trying to figure out the mix to get it right, to get 50% kids, 50% adults, which is what you want. But we get a lot of teens and tweens. No, we're tweens, but teens and 20-year-olds that still like Phineas and Ferb or watch Adventure Time or any of those things, that watch stuff on the Hub. So it's depending on what the programs we put out. It depends on the mix that we get, but we have a good time.
Yes. So you mentioned a couple of items that people can expect to see at the Kaleidoscope track, Phineas and Ferb. What other items are usually represented at Kaleidoscope track?
What we try to do is, because we base our programming on Disney, Disney XD, Nickelodeon, and Cartoon Network, and they all basically have the same kinds of shows. And so we try to group them together, and we do the mega hits. We do those standalone. Phineas and Ferb would qualify, Adventure Time would qualify for that. And then now we do a panel just on those shows. The rest of it, we lump them all together, like superhero shows or sitcoms or games or action shows. So we try to group them together so the more programming can be represented. So it's just easier, because it's hard to pick the 1 or 2 shows they're like B-grade shows that people would come to, and it's better if you group them all together.
Right. And also books and comic books of any particular genre of interest?
We don't. There's other literature tracks, But we have this year, have a book club. We've decided on a book to feature on a book club, so we're going to try that this year. And we're not ready to announce it yet, but we're getting it worked out with the author. And but we include books and games, and we have a lot of authors that come and sit on our panels. They're just as much a fan of the programming as anybody else, and so you get a lot of kids that read, and DragonCon kids tend to be readers, so it's good for us to do that. But there's also, young adult lit, and the other two literature tracks, fantasy and sci-fi, also do children's. They do a children's panel usually that covers the middle grade readers.
You started to hint on that the book wasn't ready this year, but what might you have coming down the pipeline for this year that people can expect?
Oh, the book club is going to be there this year. We're just finalizing all the details. We're also going to do a dance, our very first dance and sing-along, because we did a sing-along last year that kind of turned into a dance, but we didn't really have enough room. So we have a large room, and it's going to be for 2 hours, and it's going to lead into the Yule Ball on Sunday. Because one of the things that parents are looking for is a place to take their kids, like the Yule Ball or the Avengers Ball, but those are really 18-plus events. And so we're going to have an event targeted at kids that will be suitable for children, and then, we'll get them tired out just in time to go to bed so mom and dad can come back and go to the Avengers Ball or the Yule Ball.
Great.
Fun things are going on.
So the DragonCon parade is a giant part of DragonCon, and the Kaleidoscope track is represented there, correct? It
is. My assistant director, or second as we call them, handles the parade. She likes to march in the parade.
Right. So how is the Kaleidoscope track represented in the parade?
Well, usually we just, have marchers that wear costumes that would fit into our program, but this year the Power Rangers are going to march with us. We have some media guests. The Power Ranger Samurai are going to be our big media guest this year, and they've agreed to march in the parade with us. They'll be in a car, but we'll be marching around with them. So that's kind of exciting for us. We've never been able to, have a media guest march with us. Last year, the only Power Ranger that was in the parade was Jason David Frank, and they put him with the other, I guess there was a Power Rangers group, I guess they put him with. I'm not really sure. But so they've agreed to march with us, and we're kind of excited. And they're younger Power Rangers. They're in their early 20s. So
that's cool. What kind of so expanding on panels again? The panels are there's tons of panels in all tracks.
Yes.
Can you point out some of your staple panels that you typically have every year?
Yes, we have. We usually have a retro panel. That's usually Friday night. That's usually our latest panel on Friday night. This year we're doing SNCC, which would be 90s Nickelodeon, which is a very popular topic. We've done it before. So every year we pick a retro panel. We usually do, like I said, we do TV shows. This year we're doing zombies and superheroes. We're also going to do gaming targeted as kids. A lot of kids, especially on devices, a lot of games are targeted at kids, and so we're going to discuss that.
Things like Angry Birds and that kind of thing?
Or Angry Birds, or Plants vs. Zombies, or was it Minecraft?
Minecraft, yeah, that's a great one.
All that is targeted at kids, and then on our channels, every show just about has its own little video game that you can download off iTunes. So we're just going to discuss gaming of all kinds with kids and how it interacts with them. We're also going to discuss how kids fit into fandoms, because most people who come to DragonCon are into more than one fandom. They just don't stick with Star Wars or Star Trek or Buffy. So, when you're coming with your parents, especially when you're younger, you get pulled into their fandoms and you tend to like them. So we're going to do a panel on how kids interact in fandom. Because there was a time when young kids weren't welcome in fandom, but that's changed.
Right. Well, as far as you said, Power Ranger Samurai is coming and being represented. Well, is there any other people that you can tell us about that?
No, I haven't heard. I haven't been told about anybody else. If there's somebody in the works, they haven't told me yet. But I wish there was. We put in. I don't know if you know, but we put in a wish list. That's the first thing we do when the new year starts. Is we put in our wish list for guests. And I've been having many conversations with the guest committee about why I wanted certain people or what we would do. And so, you know, a lot of times they're announced later, closer to the convention. Because I think last year we ended up with 14 media guests. You know, so a lot of them were announced 2 weeks out from the convention. So we could very well have more.
Right. Real quick, I want to make a slight little announcement to the people viewing. If you would like to ask a question, if you're on the video on YouTube, there is a link that'll let you ask a. You click it and you can come ask us a question, and we can answer those. So please do that. We want to try to answer your questions to the best of our abilities.
Yes.
So. Anything else you want to tell us about the Kaleidoscope track at all?
Another new thing that we're going to do is we're going to have a kids writing workshop. It's going to be just like a regular panel. It's not going to be an extra workshop like normally workshops would be at DragonCon, but publishing company has agreed to come in and do like a writing exercise with the kids so they can all collectively write a story. And we're pretty excited about it. It's going to be a lot of fun. We have, you know, we've had more requests for more activity kind of panels that wouldn't be, you know, coloring or crafts or something like that. So we're trying to try a couple of those this year. You know, the book club is going to be very interactive, and then the writing panel is going to be fun. And we're also participating with a group called Geek Girls Run.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to be doing a fun run, so most of us will be participating in that in some way. And then we also host them on our track so they can talk about their group. But they really love kids, and they encourage kids, you know, for health reasons. They're encouraging kids to exercise, and so they're just a really fun group, and we all get, you know, they get to run around downtown Atlanta.
Right, that's picking up pace. I mean, I think they did that last year, and it's starting to grow a little bit more. It's a 5K, right?
No, I don't think it's going to be a 5K this year. I think it's just going to be a fun run. Okay. There was technical difficulties with getting the 5K set up. Yeah. You know, that involves, you know, permits and that kind of stuff that didn't get handled. So, but when I get more information, it'll be out there closer to the convention. Because, you know, all of those people have other jobs that they do, so they're having to work around their real life jobs.
Right.
We all can't be DragonCon for fun.
It's unfortunate. I would go every day if I could.
Oh yeah. I'm trying to think of anything else. Another, you know, we're doing, like I said, we're going to have a zombie panel. Zombies are huge. Not my personal favorite, but zombies are huge. Every time we do anything costume related, zombies appear. And you would be amazed at the parents that have asked for zombie panels. Their kids watch Walking Dead or other zombie shows. So, and it's going to be fun. I mean, I have a couple volunteers who are really into that, so they've got a lot of fun things planned. We're also. Oh, I'm sorry.
Zombies are easy for, or a little bit on the easier side for costumes too. So.
Oh yeah, and in the media side, I've picked up there's a lot of zombie books, like middle reader books, and every channel at Halloween has their zombie special, and there's even several shows that are coming out that are going to be based with zombie characters, which is, you know, very much cashing in on The Walking Dead.
Right. Now, a lot of tracks have a costume contest. Is there a kids' costume contest, or do you do that in concurrence with the regular contests?
No, we had a costume contest the first year, and it was okay, but, you know, DragonCon does the masquerade, and then they do the hall contest where they have groups for kids at that age. So we try to let them handle it. We are going to, at our dance, we are going to encourage it to be a costume dance if they want to come and, you know, in their costumes, much like they would for any of the other track dances. And there's another track that has contacted me. They're going to have a costume. It's kind of like a costume show, not really like a contest, but where the kids can come and show off their costumes and their parents can take pictures. But that hasn't been worked out. All the details haven't been worked out on that yet either. But I think they're going to try to run that before our dance, and then that'll lead into the Yule Ball if the kids are still awake by then. I mean, we have We run limited programming, so we don't have as many slots as the other tracks do because we stop programming at the 7 o'clock slot. Because we all know nighttime at Dragon Con is not appropriate for 9 to 13-year-olds.
I don't know if I can attest to that. But
I mean, if your parent wants to take you, that's absolutely great. But I don't know that I would take my 9 to 13-year-old.
Right. I understand. Anything else you want to talk about?
I don't think so. Is there not any questions out there, maybe?
I have not gotten any questions. Again, if anybody wants to ask questions, down at the left of your screen, there is a button that says "Be a part of the conversation." You can click that. You can ask a question, and we can try to answer it here. Oh,
there is something I forgot. We are taking requests for the dance song request. We have a link on our webpage, which is Kaleidoscope. Is it kaleidoscope.dragoncon.org? You can get to it from the main DragonCon page. And we have a music request form. It's on the side menu, and you can go in there and tell us what song you want to hear. One of the things last year, we didn't get very many requests, so we just basically played songs that we wanted to hear, and all the way through the sing-along, people were like, what about this song? What about that song? And we were struggling trying to be able to find them. So we have a DJ, and they're trying to make sure they have all the songs that the kids want to hear, because that's not typically songs that a DJ would have in their repertoire. You know, so we've gotten a lot of good requests, stuff from Frozen, Disney songs, Disney-themed songs from movies. So, you know, we're open to just about anything that's age-appropriate. So that link is on the website, and it goes the requests go directly to the DJ.
Right. And for those wondering of locations and times and stuff, that stuff hasn't been pinned down yet.
Oh, no.
So that you'll have to get that closer to con time to know when these events take place.
Oh my God, we could tell you the date and the time that we asked for, but that could change 6 times in the next 2 months.
Right.
So it's going to be there, I promise, but you just have to wait for the date and the time.
Right. Yeah, just keep an eye out and an ear out. Well, so far we still have no questions. So if you can't think of anything else.
Well, we just encourage everybody to come to the programming. We are in the Marriott, unless they change the footprint one more time. But we're going to be in the Marriott, the same room we were in last year, Atrium 708, which is right there next to Young Adult Lit in Star Wars and Puppetry, and also directly across from the Blood Drive. So that's where we're located. It's a pretty central spot, so it's easy to get to. I don't think there's anything else. I'm not sure.
All right, with that, I think we're going to call it here. I want to thank everybody that's watched. Thank you for watching. We're going to do this. The DragonCon social media team is going to do this more often as it gets closer to the con. We'll have other track directors to talk to. So be on the lookout on Facebook, Google+, and Twitter for the next event. We have not determined a time and date for that yet, but or who exactly we're going to be talking to. But I really enjoyed your time, Jill.
Well, no, thank you. And track directors love to have these little conversations with fans, so you know we want to hear what you have to say because it helps us decide our programming.
Yes, it's great.
And thank you for having us on.
I appreciate your time, and this was actually really fun. I had a really great conversation with you.
Well, a lot of people still don't know about Kaleidoscope Track yet, so it's good to get it out there.
And also for anybody watching, this video is being recorded and it will be uploaded to YouTube as shortly after the end of this video, and you can share it with all your friends, get the word out that we're doing these Q&A sessions. And we really appreciate it. Make sure to follow us on Google+, Facebook, and Twitter.
Yes.
All right. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.